Hi guys, welcome back to Unsolved. So I just came through my news feed and Joshua JJ Rowland, 2-year-old that was missing from Brooksville, Florida, has been found alive. Thank goodness. Let's see what we can find out. So glad that he was found, safe and sound. What's going on? Here we go. Share my window. Okay. Let me go back. What's going on?
Morning, and then shortly after, numerous law enforcement agencies are expected to resume the search for a missing 2-year-old boy in Hernando County. The sheriff's office just released information for anybody who wants to volunteer to join the search. We're going to get to that coming up in just a moment. But first, I want to let you know what we know so far. Joshua Rowland, who his family calls JJ, was reported missing around noon yesterday from a home on Cheever Road in Brooksville. A witness saw him playing in the yard around 10:40 yesterday morning, but deputies don't know what happened after that. The family waited about an hour before reporting him missing. Joshua was last seen wearing a Batman shirt and gray pants. Sheriff Al Nienhouse is asking...
All right, sorry, that's not the thing. So it says breaking news. Search for the missing 2-year-old Brooksville ended today, Friday, when Joshua J.J. Rowland was found alive. More details are expected to be released by Sheriff shortly. All right, so let's see if we can find a live feed. Just give me 1 second here, guys. I'm sure they're going to have a press conference. Let me just stop my screen. What is that saying 7 hours ago? Oh, sorry, guys. Let me go to WFLA. Sorry, wasn't prepared to go live. So you have to bear with me, please, and thank you. Come on. Nothing's loading. All right. Oh, where's the volume? Sorry, I just got massive heartburn. Okay, come on. I got no volume. What's going on? Come on. Nothing's working for me today. Where's the volume? All right, let me try this one. So he has been found. I don't know the condition yet. Where am I going? Let me just double check this out. Oh. All right, let me just look WFLA. All right.
Oh my gosh, it's unbelievable. I'm so thankful. I'm just overwhelmed.
Let me share my screen.
I just can't wait to see the baby and the mama.
And your first and last name, and how do you spell it?
I'm Terry Smith, and I am.
Cousin?
No, it's my sister's grandchild, so it's my nephew. I don't know. My brain is.
Terry, T-E-R-R-I?
Why?
Why?
Smith.
Okay, so I'm just going to back it up a little. So we're just heading back a little bit to see what's going on. I'm sure that police will have a press conference. What am I doing here? I'm so glad that he was found alive.
JB, Chris Martinez here with you live in the Stream Center, and that was very interesting, Chris. We heard some instructions being given out to this latest group of volunteers. Groups have been fanning out, as we understand it. Groups have been leaving this location and being given directions on where to go. This one, we were on stream about 30 minutes or so ago talking about the railroad tracks to the west of where this home is, and now they're saying that's a reference point for people as far as checking different sides of the railroad tracks to the west of Cheever Road and Yance Road as well.
Texting with Beth Rousseau right now, who's there at the scene. So she's saying that these smaller groups have been being sent out since 8 o'clock, and they're sending a group.
Let me just forward a little bit here because I know
on the ground, Chris, but also Eagle is part of these search efforts. It's developing here, but there are some utility vehicles heading west down Yance Road with the Hernando County Sheriff's Office. I want to clarify some comments earlier. People are asking about the discovery of a sippy cup.
Yeah, I heard about that.
And other discoveries or possible discoveries. Nothing has been found that is of a direct correlation to the disappearance of JJ at this time. So while
vehicles, what have you. You want to know what's going on, and we'll find out what's going on there, but that doesn't necessarily, it raises our attention level for sure. Doesn't necessarily mean anything is happening per se.
Yeah, and gives us the opportunity then to just ask questions.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, that's what it's all about. So we see, law enforcement activity heading west, and we're saying, okay, we can check with our sources and with our contacts, and
just going to speed it up a little.
And they're, I'm getting some text here now.
Okay, well, what's happening right now is our reporters on the scene are getting some information that they're waiting to confirm. Mm-hmm. So some unconfirmed reports that they're gonna work on right now to get us some new information. So we'll kind of sit tight and wait for Beth Rousseau and our other crews out there to see what they can confirm in terms of any activity that's happening.
Let me just make this clear to our audience and with what I can say. Don't go anywhere. You're gonna want to stick around for some news that is trickling in that we're hoping that we'll get an update on here shortly. Again, Eagle is now about 12 or so minutes away from Brooksville. We did see that law enforcement activity head west down Yance, and so can't report anything at this time, but we are starting to get some early word here that there might be something to report here soon, is what we can say. And so let's this is a good time for prayers. At least that's how I treat these situations. I had difficulty sleeping last night. I did. I was just thinking about, if JJ was alive and alone and scared out there in the middle of the night in rural Hernando County, your heart breaks for this family, and you're just hoping for the very best. And I was just, laying awake last night, just hoping for the best. I know that others likely it was the same, because that we can all celebrate. And we're hoping that there's an update here soon that is good.
Breaking news on WFLA Now. Here's Jamie Buno.
Prayers answered, as it has been confirmed in Hernando County through WFLA.com that missing 2-year-old JJ Rowland has been found safe in North Brooksville. The news starting to make it out near the home where JJ was last seen yesterday, less than 24 hours ago. Tears of joy, not tears of sadness, as we have learned that the boy has been found and will be transported to the hospital for injuries. Look, this is unbelievable. Chris Martinez joining us here in the Stream Center, and I'm not going to get emotional. This is news you pray for. This is what it's all about.
It is the news you pray for.
Resolution. You see now we have some officers and some deputies that are walking by, and we'll go full screen here. And actually, no, we're going to tap the touchscreen and go this way. Yep, to Sheriff Al Nienhuis. Let's listen in here live. We'll bring up audio full.
Hey, Jose.
Wow.
I don't know. Let's go live here. Young man? Yeah, okay, let's go. Well.
couple of patients that need a minute or two to get up and running.
So, anybody who's just coming in, JJ was found alive. Thank goodness.
We are standing by
Amen.
for an update from Sheriff Al Nienhuis. Again, for those of you just joining us here on WFLA Now, Sheriff Al Nienhuis is about to confirm that missing 2-year-old JJ Rowland has been found alive. Chris, we were live when we saw that law enforcement activity heading west down Yonce, and now we're about to get this confirmation, the confirmation we've been praying for.
What's going on? And perhaps they had found something, and now we know that they did. And from what we understand, JJ just has some scratches on him. That's what we're hearing right now, that he is safe, that he is not injured in any way that is beyond the scratches. That's what our reporters are telling us right now from the scene. So we're going to get more from the sheriff here in just a minute. An incredible ending to this story, JB. A lot of people really thinking the worst here.
All of us.
Yeah.
It's only natural.
Yeah,
24 hours later to start to fear the worst. Everyone has on the ground here at WFLA. I mean, we're all just on pins and needles waiting for an update. That update is moments away, and it's the update we've been
Ginger,
praying
if
for. Here's
you're
Beth.
there, I need you to talk to me, please.
So she is talking with our control room here at WFLA. They're waiting on the green light so that we are live across both
Hey,
on
Linda,
air
if
and
you're
online.
listening to this, can you ask Ginger how long until we're in the show?
The 11 o'clock newscast, a show that Chris has anchored many a times, is about 90 or so seconds away from getting started. So we can be live on air in 90 seconds. So they're just waiting for the top of the hour for this press conference. But my goodness, Chris, I mean, this is just incredible. I was just going to say it's just incredible.
It's really something, and we'll find out here shortly if it was a volunteer who found JJ, if it was
1
law
minute,
enforcement,
20
but certainly you saw those people coming out to help with the search, and no doubt that was a big help this morning in locating this little boy. We're waiting to find out how far away from his home he was found, exactly where he was found, so the sheriff no doubt will speak to all that here in just a few minutes for us. But just an incredible ending to this story, to know that this little boy, 2 years old, only 2 years old, is safe and will now be taken to the hospital to get checked out and to be treated, and I'm sure at this point, hopefully, is being reunited if he hasn't already been reunited with his family.
I can smile again. We can all smile again. It's such a relief. We have been given the 60-second heads up that Sheriff Al Nienhuis is going to be addressing all media here, quite literally from the back of an opened law enforcement vehicle. They're standing by for us to be officially at 11 a.m. and into our broadcast here on WFLA. Let's listen in and go to this live. Listen in. This is Sheriff Al Nienhuis.
Good morning. I know we've had a lot of bad news over the last 24 hours, but I'm happy to report that we had the best news that anybody could want. We have found JJ. He seems to be fine. Actually, here's actually a picture of him behind me with one of the rescuers. He seems to be doing fine. Paramedics, literally, it was just a couple minutes ago, paramedics are en route to check him out. But I will tell you that I was hoping and praying for a miracle. I certainly was not expecting one. But I think a lot of people were praying, and prayer works. That's all I got to say. So thank you all for coming out and helping. And for our media partners, thank you all for getting the word out. We certainly had no clue what happened to him. He was found north of the residence, just south of Parrott Middle School. So he was quite a ways away from home.
Wow.
But the good news is he did not end up in any water, obviously, and he was not abducted. He was found in the woods. He seems to be fine. He's definitely going to have something to tell his kids and grandkids about, that's for sure. But I'm sure mom and dad are going to keep a little closer eye on him from this point forward. But again, thank you all very much, and it's a miracle. There's no doubt about it. So thank you.
Sheriff, who did find him?
That I'm not even sure about. I know there's a picture of a gentleman there. I'm not sure if it was one of our law enforcement people or one of our volunteers. I don't even know that. We wanted to get the information out there as quickly as we could. So
What's his condition right now?
again, I'm not sure, but it looks from the picture that he's smiling, so he must be doing fairly well. So
Sheriff, talk to us a little bit about this community that we saw come out here today.
we live in a great county. Hernando County is great. It supports our law enforcement, and we were overwhelmed. We certainly had a lot more volunteers than we had jobs for them, and we had people that were willing to come out and help, and it certainly warms your heart. That's another part of the story. A secondary part of the story is that the vast majority of citizens are good people, law-abiding citizens who want to do anything to get a 2-year-old back to his parents. So, all right. Any other questions? We'll get more information out as soon as we can, but we certainly wanted to update the public as well as all of our volunteers that they can stand down, and JJ appears to be fine, and we'll be reuniting him with his
Isn't
parents.
that great news,
very
Kitty?
shortly. So thank you all for coming out.
Sheriff, thank you so much. Again, you just heard from the Hernando County Sheriff, the outcome that everybody was hoping. Hundreds of volunteers that showed up here today. JJ has been found safe. That 2-year-old that the mother says wandered away from his home here in
Not too
Brooksville
long
while
ago,
she was
like
sleeping just
around
yesterday.
11.
Extensive search efforts underway since that point.
Where did
He has
they
been
find
found
him?
safe. They say it doesn't appear that he has any serious
Near
injuries. They say he was actually quite a ways
north
away from
of his
home. They're gonna take him
house.
to the hospital. They're going to
I
have
think
him
it was
checked out
near
just to make sure
a
everything is
school.
okay. But the sheriff thanking this community for the turnout. The parents saying this is the biggest relief. So
Nothing's
we're going to
been
stay here,
confirmed
talk to the
yet,
sheriff a little more, talk with some of these
but he
volunteers.
is safe and alive.
Breaking news on WFLA Now. Here is JP Buno.
That's with a smile on her face. Let's go over to Eagle AHB and see if there's anything that we can see from Eagle. Eagle is still heading to the scene, but Chris Martinez, JB Buno here with you live on WFLA Now. And you have to forgive our ear-to-ear grins here because, my goodness, JJ, 2-year-old JJ, will have more French fries. He'll have more pretzels and more red slushies as we've been seeing in this photo. Many more pretzels. Someone get this kid a pretzel immediately. Some French fries and just a cherry red slushie. Eagle just getting to the scene moments ago. Let's go live and see if we can see anything. Chris, we were live and we were pointing out that there all of a sudden seemed to be a good amount of law enforcement activity heading west down Yonce Road. That turned out to be something, a development, and the development that we were praying for.
He hiked quite a bit,
To
holy.
be the general area south of the middle school where JJ was found. I was doing a little bit of homework on Google Maps. It's about 1.5 miles away from the property. Between 1 mile to 1.5 miles.
So between 1 mile and 1.5 miles from his house.
A little emotional speaking about it because
So
he
2
has
miles,
been
yeah,
deployed in a lot of
wow.
law enforcement. They've seen situations like this that have not ended this way, and they were maybe starting to think the worst here, have some really some grave concerns for this child. That's quite a distance for a 2-year-old to travel on foot by themselves at night.
And here we have an escort and applause. We have no audio on this feed, but look at the relief. Look at the cheering that is going on for law enforcement and what they have done. And I'm very curious to find out who found JJ. What condition was he hiding? Was he lost and wandering around? But the fact that he was found is just absolutely surreal to me.
Curious too, if maybe perhaps he is in one of the vehicles in that convoy there going home. As the sheriff said, he would be reunited here shortly with his parents. Is he here perhaps in that ambulance that we just saw, or is he actually en route to a hospital? We'll probably get some more clarity on that a little bit later on. Really,
but
just
so it may be
incredible.
And I'm just wondering here, could they be reuniting him with his parents just for that initial hug? And then,
could be just to get him with his parents so they can take the parents to the hospital as well. Although it's sounding from what the sheriff has said and from that photo that we saw, as though certainly they want to check him out, but it doesn't sound as though he was injured to any degree that would need any sort of medical care per se. Which is also, by the way, incredible in and of itself that a 2-year-old
survived overnight
and could travel that far on their own, barefoot, by the way, because we've confirmed that he was barefoot.
Oh, family! This is family. Let's listen in live.
You cannot. Every mama has lost a child before. Don't say you haven't. Every mother loses sight of her child for just a minute. It just takes a minute. Oh, all of the moms out here today. There was a mom I talked to today that lost her son in a drowning 23 years ago, and she was here today looking for this baby. It's incredible. It's incredible. I just want to hug Jamie. I want to hug Jamie.
And what is your first and last name?
Christina Sowers. SOWERS. I'm so excited. I am so excited. They found that baby.
And what is your relationship, friendship?
It's my cousin. It's my mom's sister's family. Oh my gosh.
Just your thoughts hearing this wonderful news.
I can't wait. I can't expect him. Yeah, he had to be right here. He's 2 with no shoes. He had to be right here. That's why we weren't leaving. He's here, and we knew it.
They're the most beautiful family. How thankful are you that he's okay?
Oh, I can't believe how thankful the support this town has come together, and the law enforcement and the animals, the horses, people out of nowhere. I mean, driving home, I was just in tears at all the vehicles and everybody walking, the lights.
This is Dad's company over here. Dad works for the whole. He's got the whole crew came out.
Everybody from work, everybody.
All the teachers and the school staff today, you should have seen it
Everybody.
in line. They said if you're from the schools, you don't have to get a background. And it was just piles of them.
I think back
so awesome.
24 hours.
You're looking here from
It
Eagle
was
HD.
so bad.
There
Nobody
is
got any
JJ.
sleep last night. Nobody got.
Raised boy stuff. You can
We were
survive
here.
it.
Yep,
Just like
it was-
camping. Come on, it was a cool camping trip. Oh, they found
Such a strong, beautiful little boy to be able to make it through.
Oh my gosh.
It's unbelievable. I'm so thankful. I'm just overwhelmed. I just can't wait to see the baby and the mama.
And your first and last name, and how do you spell it?
I'm Terry Smith, and I am.
Husband?
No, it's my sister's grandchild. So it's my nephew. I don't know. My brain is.
Terry, Terri.
Why?
Why?
Smith, yes.
Thanks for talking to us.
Thank you. Thank you for helping and support and being here.
Mama's holding him tight. I can see
Don't have
that.
to last a minute longer.
Oh, I know. I don't know if anybody can.
We woke up this morning and we said today on sunlight.
That's right.
Sunlight today, that's it.
We were out of the house.
You say nothing else different. That's all you say.
Shows how people come together.
Oh, it's amazing. You guys have been amazing too. You guys have been so respectful.
So happy for you guys.
Thanks.
Incredible. We just saw that boy get reunited with his family.
No words.
No words,
to
right.
see that. And from what we could see, as the sheriff has said, from the distance from Eagle HD, he looked okay. He looked fine.
There's the donkey I mentioned earlier.
Incredible. Just absolutely incredible.
Here, let's go full screen. Here is JJ. And we'll try to, I'll bring up the ground audio here as well so that we can hear. I think we're about to see this on the ground shot and from Eagle. There is JJ being carried past the law enforcement teams that have been pouring hours and hours into searching for him.
I'm so glad he was found. Gives hope.
And look at the amount of attention that JJ is getting. Everyone is just huddling around, and you pray for this visual, you pray for this moment, you pray for this end to the story, and prayers were answered, Chris.
And we were just asking a few moments ago, was he going to the hospital? Was he going home? It looks like he's home now and likely home to stay. Maybe perhaps he was checked out of that ambulance just to make sure that he was all right. But you have to wonder, too, what JJ is thinking here. Does he understand at all the magnitude of anything's happened? Likely not, right? He probably just thinks, wow, all these people here to celebrate. They're excited.
He's probably thinking, hey, it's a horsey.
Right, yeah. I mean, he probably isn't exactly sure what exactly happened. What we heard a few moments ago from family members, who, as we heard, they were just elated. They were elated that this has happened. They couldn't believe this has happened. This was certainly the thing that they were hoping for, but they were fearing they wouldn't get it. But look at all of these people out here now who have come out to support and help, and it all paid off because they were able to find this little boy safe and sound. It really is incredible.
Eagle 8 HD making it right there as the discovery was happening. Again, dense fog was the reason that Eagle couldn't be there to participate in this morning search efforts. It was difficult for any aircraft to see, but now Eagle getting there for this very special moment, a moment that this family will cherish and look to the heavens above and just say thank you for probably the rest of their lives.
Oh, absolutely.
And so it's a great point that JJ probably is a little confused,
right.
and probably overwhelmed.
Yeah.
Can you imagine for a moment being a 2-year-old and being out there there's not a lot of
I'm
light
sure
out
he was
there.
scared last night
Really even
sleeping
the
out there.
suburbs. It's not a city. It's not the suburbs. There's not a lot of light out there overnight. But what's interesting is that, I'm wondering here. So this is just purely now. I'm taking off my reporter hat for a second. This is the child was found south of the middle school. Mm-hmm. You're wondering, was he trying to find? Was he just following light as he was wandering around in the darkness last night? The middle school is on one of the main roads there. I think it's Cobb Road, if I'm not mistaken. Was he just was he listening for sound so that he could get out of the woods? I'm looking here on Google Maps, and if he did go directly from the property to south of the middle school, he would have gone through a very wooded area, and Cobb Road is right there to the west. So look, only JJ knows. Right. And we might never really fully understand because he's only 2 years old, but what an experience. It's probably, I can't remember. Being 2 years old. So he'll probably never remember this experience as well. His parents will, the family members, the entire community will, but JJ himself will likely never truly have these memories of what it was like surviving overnight in Hernando County.
But like the sheriff says, he'll have quite a story to tell, right, one day. And look, now that we have a happy ending, there were a million things here that could have gone wrong. There were a million things here that could have gone south, so to speak. And as you just described it, walking through the woods, a mile plus, looking for light, all sorts of things.
Oh, we're hearing some applause to bring us up. Oh, it's the fire rescue vehicle, and people who are out. I want to show this here really quickly, very quick. People that are out by the roadway are just looking, and there's this perimeter that's been established. You can't go past this point because it's just for family and law enforcement. Because down the road, if you walk past this area, you find this. So people are just cheering at anything right now. Volunteers, law enforcement, whomever it may be. But there is JJ being carried by a family member or friend back in the direction of the home. And just a sight for sore eyes.
And it will be very interesting today. Hopefully we will hear at some point from the person who made that discovery. The sheriff saying earlier he wasn't certain if that was a member of law enforcement or a volunteer. No doubt we will find that out at some point here today. But we're very anxious to learn more about specifically where and how he was found.
just can't get over how this was the middle of the night and this boy was wandering around. More applause that you're hearing. If this child becomes a future Survivor contestant, I will not be surprised in the slightest. Okay, this is.
There are plenty of adults who would have a hard time within those circumstances, right? So for a 2-year-old
All
to
right,
have
guys.
that and be okay and just have a few scratches on it is really something.
So JJ's been found. Great, awesome news. So good to hear that.
Survivor, if you're watching, we have a Survivor story that you just cannot believe because a 2-year-old barefoot.
Let me see if I can find something.
Overnight in Hernando County.
If there's a
was able to emerge out of this alive, being found by, we do not know who yet, but to Chris's point, what a story that person will tell. Can you imagine, Chris, being the person to see JJ, to see that curly blonde hair as we now see JJ go into his home with his family. Can you imagine seeing that curly hair or hearing something? Maybe we don't know if whoever found JJ, we don't know if they saw him or heard him.
Okay, just stop that, sorry. Time to child-proof the house, yeah. It should have been child-proof prior, but, you know. Boys will be boys. Let's see what this one is. These are still about him missing. All right, so I guess, oh, hang on, maybe this one. Let's look at this one here. I'll share my screen. There's the gentleman that found him as well. Here we go. The gentleman on the right with the hat, the peach shirt, is the gentleman that found little JJ. I'm wondering if they're going to have... Sorry, guys.
Update to the story of a missing child here out of Brooksville in Hernando County. You see the photo on your screen right there. An incredible, happy ending to this more than 24-hour search for him that started yesterday. Now you see that photo there. JJ Rowland, the 2-year-old boy who went missing yesterday, now reunited with his family. Just before 11 this morning, we were standing out here at the staging area where all the search crews have been setting up, law enforcement officer and hundreds of volunteers, and we heard wailing in celebration, wondering what was going on. They found JJ, search crews did, nearby to his home. He was breathing. He was still okay. He was scratched up, but he was bruised, but he was alive, and that's the important update we hear. We heard those wailing, people in tears, just in.
I just want to make a pause on this for a second. No, I don't know if his pants are torn, but is that the same clothes that he went missing in? I really can't see. Gray t-shirt. Maybe he ripped his pants. Possible, right?
In disbelief that they were able to find him okay, and then all of a sudden it was celebration. There was cheering as a convoy of first responders, ambulances, police officers all made their way back up to the home where JJ went missing from yesterday. Those tears of celebration and joy, just an incredible, happy ending to this search that went on for nearly 24 hours since he was first reported missing. Now, we're still going to wait to get more information from the sheriff's office about how they were able to narrow that location, but this was an intensive search effort. Don't get it twisted. There was more than 100 law enforcement officers, hundreds of volunteers that were out here searching every inch of area around this home where JJ was last seen yesterday. And nearly 24 hours after he was last seen, he was returning home. You can see the clapping behind me for some of these Florida Department of Corrections officers that were part of that search crew effort. You can still hear the helicopter above me. This has turned into jubilation here at the site of what was such a scary situation just hours ago. Now, this is an incredible update we're bringing here. You see the photo on your screen. That is the photo everyone wanted to see this morning when the search resumed for day 2. JJ is going home with his family. He is a little scratched up. He's a little bruised. He will be getting checked out, but he is alive, and that's what counts. We'll have much more on this story as it's still developing, both on our newscast at noon on Channel 10. We'll also keep you updated both on air and on our social media pages.
There you have it. All right, guys. If something more comes to light, let me close that out. Stop my screen. If anything else comes to light regarding JJ, I will try to go live. If not, I'll probably make a little video. But I am so glad that he was found safe. And, you know, you don't get that great news very often from these cases. And, you know, so, all right, guys. Stay safe. Love each other. And I'll catch you on the next one. Bye-bye.